Greetings and thank you for joining us. This day started out as any typical day, but as you will see, it turned into something I've never seen before. I have lived in California my entire life, and yes, we have wind and fires, but this was a day that I will never forget. It was Tuesday, and I was out early heading for Fontana to check up on progress out at Auto Club Speedway. I left well before 6 a.m. to get ahead of the traffic, and it was very breezy, but not what I would consider unusual. I live about 70 miles southwest of Auto Club, and the ride took about 90 minutes to get through morning traffic in Los Angeles. Upon arrival at Auto Club, I did notice a substantial increase in the sustained wind and was jolted by several severe gusts as I was preparing to lift off. I have flown in windier conditions, but this was nearing the limit of safe operation. My plan was to get up, circle around, pick up the highlights, and get back on the ground. As most of you may know from experience, wind in Fontana are no strangers, and I somewhat expected it to calm down as the day went on. Little did I know, this would be a day like no other. As you will see shortly, I do have an update from Auto Club, but I did want to take this opportunity to let you know why there has been such a delay since my last update, and thank you for your support and patience. During the fires, it was the first time in my career that I simply could not lift my camera up and shoot. The pain of these families is just beyond comprehension, and while my instinct was to capture the moment, I chose to just find ways to bring these folks comfort and aid as was possible. I want to thank everyone that has reached out and asked if they could help. My only ask is, please subscribe to my channel, and your subscription will continue to ensure I can seek sponsorship that makes all of this possible. Now on to Auto Club. Just ahead is an interview that NASCAR President Steve Phelps did on SiriusXM. During this chat, he was asked about Auto Club, and well, it's on the list, but far from the top. So let's listen to what he says and consider what comes next.
Can you give us a Fontana update of any kind? There's obviously a lot going on out there. They're putting up a lot of buildings, but we're not seeing a racetrack yet.
Yeah, nothing to report on Fontana at this point. What I will say, Dave, and I've said it before, we are the Southern California market is very important for us. I would say that, continuing, not to get too technical on the business side, but the cost of capital is expensive right now. Interest rates are still high. So we have to be very judicious about how we're going to spend our capital. And, we've got 15 racetracks that need, maintenance capital or structural changes to the tracks themselves that we need to spend. So we have to figure out where does Fontana stack as part of that? And then, obviously if we're going to have to, layer on more debt to the organization, what is the best time to do that? Would I like to have a racetrack in Southern California? Yes. Is it important for us to race in Southern California? It is. And so I think moving forward, we're exploring all opportunities in the Southern California market as we look to the 26 and 27 seasons. So hope to have something, maybe the second quarter of next year that we can have some further updates as to what's happening in that Southern California market.
So there you have it. Capital is expensive, interest rates are high, and there are many other facilities that need attention. I am happy to hear that Southern California is a priority, but unfortunately, it does not sound like a high priority. What is clear is that the majority of the work during this visit was focused on the northwest end of the property, roughly the old backstretch heading into Turn 3. It does appear that the next set of structures will be filling in that space. What that means for the future of Auto Club Speedway is anyone's guess. It is getting harder to envision a dual industrial use site mixed with a racetrack. Just the logistics alone of getting high volumes of trucks and vehicles into and out of this space is hard to visualize. Not only that, these industrial complexes are not going to simply close on race weekends. So that would mean you would have normal business traffic mixed with large volumes of race teams, support staff, and yes, thousands of passionate race fans. How all of these interests coexist in a seamless and safe manner seems like a long shot. I have been very optimistic about someday seeing the return of this historic racing facility, but given all the current priorities in addition to all the new barriers presented from the enormous fire-related expenditures headed California's way, it may be time to look at this from a realistic point of view. NASCAR has done a great job adding new venues, such as North Wilkesboro, Bowman Gray, and the return of Rockingham, but the focus appears to be many miles away from Southern California. We still have Sonoma, but is that enough? Let me know what you think in the comments. Things have begun to calm down in Southern California as families, friends, and residents begin to attempt a return to normal. But putting their lives back together in these areas may be impossible for many. I lose my keys and I feel like the world is ending. But standing in these burnt lots trying to envision losing everything I've ever owned is beyond my capacity to imagine. And contrary to what the politicians say, this is going to change Southern California forever. This beautiful area will never be the same, and many of my lifetime friends will have no choice but to leave forever. With that said, the show must go on. I will be heading back out to Fontana in a couple weeks to check in. I am also going to begin documenting the cleanup in the Malibu area. If you look at some of my previous videos, I have done several shoots from those areas, and the comparison from then to now will be staggering. I was also out at Irwindale Speedway and witnessed the initial stages of that speedway tear down. I will be posting that video next. Just another hit to the Southern California racing scene. I would like to leave this video on a happy note. None of my friends or family were physically hurt during this terrible event, but not everyone was so lucky. As I said, I've seen wind, but this was just next level. There were many contributing factors to the outcomes, but once the fire got going, no amount of water, manpower, or equipment could have stopped what I witnessed. The people of California are resilient, and I know what comes next will be amazing. Thank you for watching, and please like, subscribe, and most importantly, leave a comment. I love chatting with you, and your input is what makes this all worthwhile. Thanks. I'll see you all again soon.